Up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. We were looking so pretty. We were looking so good for a second. And then and then a little CPI came out. And yeah. Kind of just killed it. Just killed the market in general. It's over. Goodbye, market. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Do we get a little bit of a bounce today? That is going to be our question. Andrew says, and then $1 bought less. Yeah. So how do I even spin this to a positive? I mean, inflation's up what? I think the number was 8.3% year over year. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. So we have that. But yeah, I think we were all expecting bad numbers. I don't think anybody was expecting a great time in the market. I don't think anybody was expecting really good numbers, but we were buying from the close of yesterday into pre-market into the morning today. I think almost the sentiment was maybe the numbers are priced in a little bit, and they were just still pretty horrible. So those are official numbers. Economists are saying double. And basically, Liza says you always positive spin. Basically, what this would tell us and like why the CPI is important is because that is going to look at that is telling the market, that's telling realistically, that's telling the Fed that they have to still do more. So there's still more rate raising. There's still all of that has to take place. And we'll see how the Fed responds. But you could already see how the market took it. Not well. Crypto's a dumpster fire. Yep, everything is a dumpster fire. You know what does help the Fed is this type of reaction when the markets go down and crypto goes down and literally trillions and trillions of dollars just get wiped out. That will help the Fed fight inflation, technically speaking. So yeah, so that was a good reaction for the Fed. For anybody holding dollars, not so much. I mean, you could hold. So like, where should you put your money right now? That's a good question. You put it into crypto. It is down, even though crypto is supposed to be the savior to fight markets and fight inflation and fight all this stuff. It is not. It is dumping. Could you put it in the market? Right now, it's going to be tough. Right now, it's going to be, where do you put it into the market? There's no safe spot. You could also just hold cash and just be losing dollar value based on buying power. But you won't be losing 5% a day, that's good. So maybe that's the way. Either way, the beauty is when we day trade, we are going to be able to make money from the markets based on moves. And even though the money we get as soon as we put it into our account will reduce because of inflation, at least we are not just sitting stagnant. So day trading, not bad right now, as long as we can get a good direction in the market, good trades in the market, and look to increase account value. Even as the accounts go down, if we can make some money just to have some more buying power, so be it. Weather the storm. Daniel says, I'm losing day trading too. They're not making it easy. I will say they're not making it easy for you. Bomdad says, if Bitcoin passes 29,500 zone like this with no hesitation, it's totally done. There is some, it will. I think we come lower in crypto. I mean, I think we also come lower in stocks. I think there was a hedge fund that said if Bitcoin drops past 21,000, they start to get into margin call. So you have some of the hedge funds in crypto going to hit some margins. You're also going to, I don't think we've seen the severity of the market pullback. And I showed this chart before too. That's why I had it on the monthly, but this is a huge move. Like the SPY hasn't pulled back for the same relentlessness that individual stocks have. The other thing too is once and this is why with advisors, I mean, they'll show you like, oh, the market just keeps going up, like just keep buying dips. Just be careful what you buy because individual companies don't always come back. The market usually does, but they also rebalance and it looks good over the long term. But individual companies don't necessarily have to come back. So buy strength, buy companies that have been around for a little bit. Anything in growth, anything not making money, the market is terrified of them. There could still be some good gems out there. I'm not going to lie. There is some stuff that I'm interested in. Some of those growth companies that were just bananas starting to come back to reality a little bit. Like longer term, I think they survive. They'll be okay. So those are the companies I'm focusing on. Anything else that I have no idea what the business does, I much rather just wait, put it into solid, like the Apples, put it into, I don't think Tesla goes anywhere, but I do think Tesla's probably extremely overvalued, has been for a while, in my personal opinion. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate email like, nah, Tesla, Elon, but that's what I'm thinking. So we shall see. But yeah, everything looks the same. Qs ran up, sold off. This one is right now. We did actually break yesterday's low, I believe. Yep. So we broke yesterday's low by a little bit, just trying to bounce a little bit. Did we actually bounce lower than the SPY? So yeah, it looks exactly the same. So everything kind of moving in step with each other. Let's take a look at some of the companies that we are looking at for day trade potential that we look at every day. And then we also have the wild card we could throw in there for some kind of a stock move. So we'll see some kind of a wild card play. NVIDIA didn't quite get past the lows of the day. So right now that does not qualify. Looks exactly like the rest of the market. Let me pull up the targets for this one. In the morning, like 3 minutes prior to the bell, NVIDIA was my favorite company to go long on today. I thought it had the most room. Now that we're back below some of those VPOCs, it actually probably has some of the best room to the downside. So we'll see on that one. Let's pull up AMD real quick. And again, probably on NVIDIA, I'm looking for maybe some kind of a bounce. If we could get it into, I'm looking for like a 174.45-ish zone is my preferred spot to short. Do we get that? I don't know. We'll have to see. AMD is still inside. So again, at open immediately, we won't have access to trade it as per the strategy that we are using this year. To the upside, 87.10 is our first spot. To the downside, we have a couple more ranges. So 86.26. And then below that, 85.24. So we have a couple of spots that AMD could bounce in. NVIDIA doesn't have anything. NVIDIA could definitely head lower. So out of the two so far, NVIDIA is the one I would focus on out of both of those. Both in the up and down direction, by the way. Probably NVIDIA I just think has a little bit more range where we're at right now. Let me see. Where did Tesla go? Oh, Tesla. Tesla was my second favorite potential bullish move today, and just based on where it was opening, that immediately faded. And wow, looks like just like NVIDIA, it's got a lot of room to the downside. 702-ish. Is that a realistic? Row. Let me flip this real quick to an hourly. 702. All right, so I think we might see a little bounce, probably a little sooner. So probably about 764.85-ish. Somewhere in that zone. It's very little. We might see that's right around the area that we got saved twice on Tesla. And if it does break that area, yeah, then we can see a lot more downside on Tesla. So the bulls have to cover that really like 765 zone. Look for a potential bounce there. Best thing to do, try to wait for your short to come in. So maybe short it as high as possible, sell high, buy back low, which could give us not too much higher, 793.62-ish, somewhere there is a good spot to short. And if that breaks, the next spot to look for short is 806. This is all providing that this market doesn't open and just obviously rip higher. But I mean, where's the catalyst? Daniel says, I just shorted Ethereum in my funded account. Let's see what Ethereum is doing. Yep, this would be the spot to look short. Again, anytime news comes out, the market does work a little strange. You're gonna get weird pushes and pops, things like that. But this would be the spot to short, somewhere right at 2200. That's a good attempt, at least. I like it. All right, let's take a look at Delta DAL. Oops, DAL. This is pretty much flat in the middle, so kind of held up better than a lot of other stocks, I guess, that we looked at least so far. Still looks relatively weak. Yeah, again, it's right in some kind of a chop zone. Probably not going to take it. Bullish or bearish. It's just going to be a tight range. If we can get past 38.26, we have a little bit of room. 37.76 would be the next spot. I just don't see. I just don't see the most potential in that one today. Let's look at Apple, AAPL. So right now, I mean, we'll see where it opens. Right now, we're in yesterday's range, barely. This definitely could have trapped a lot of people. I think that's going to be a little tough to recover, not just for Apple, but for the market in general. So relatively big sell-off. Go has bullish gap and go. All right, I'll take a look at that one. Apple has a little bit of a shelf at a little bit of support coming in at roughly 152.50. So we'll see if that gets saved. If not, the next spot is 150.61. If 150.61 breaks, open those puts. You have a lot of room after 150.60. I'll just go 150.60. Yeah, doesn't look good. Does not look good across the board. Let's take a look at some of the ones that had some earnings. Coinbase, again, their branding is on point. They figured out how to turn dollars into coins, and I think that was their goal. But massive gap down on Coinbase. Good morning, Dan. Could you look at SOYB? Yep, I'll take a look at that, Gabriel. Reading some of the comments. LUV in a lovely location for short swing trade, 10 EMA strategy. We'll take a look at that as well. Coinbase, yeah, so they got absolutely clapped. The one thing that I saw in their 10K report, which is a little alarming, is something where they treat the investors as, what is the words they used? General creditors, meaning that I treat them like trash. I don't think they used that word. That was not the word they used, but it was another adjective. But yeah, general creditors. So meaning that in case of bankruptcy, first of all, you don't really ever want to see the word bankruptcy into a 10K report. I think that's alarming by itself. But they said in case of bankruptcy, so all right, maybe they're trying to be safe. But then they treat the investors. So the one thing I don't understand, to be honest, is if you have positions, so if you have Bitcoin through them, are they able to liquidate your positions to use that to pay their other creditors first? Because you're general, so meaning in case of bankruptcy, you get paid last, or does that mean free cash? But in their actual 10K report, they did mention that. Again, I don't want to cause alarm for anybody or do anything, but that was at least alarming to me. and the overall crypto market. Because if Coinbase does go bankrupt, number one, that's horrible for crypto markets. Two, if people are not getting their money back, and I have to look into it. Somebody else told me that the accounts are like your positions are insured for FDIC insured for 250,000, but that might be just your position. So if you're holding cash on the side, I still think that cash might be liable to use as that is credited to Coinbase. Just be careful. Just read it. Read the 10K yourself. Interpret it how you want. If you have people that know much more about crypto markets, just ask them and let me know, because I don't. I'm honestly, it's alarming. I don't know exactly how to interpret it yet, so I have to look into it. But that is something. Jack says, "Yeah, I need to get myself a hardware wallet." Yes, that's what it seems like. Juan says, yes, according to what Falco posted. Oh, yeah, Falco posted. I didn't even see it, but whew, okay. That's crazy. Unity Software also got killed last night on earnings, and I think these guys. So technically it's a retest gap. There's a lot of selling into it. I mean, I'm not comfortable really playing the fade on Unity Software today. For me personally, it's down a lot. Maybe we get some buying. I just don't know where the buyers come in on this. Like, where's the floor? Everything in this market. Even if you take a look at Netflix, this is the second big gap down on earnings that they had, and they continue to sell off. So I think these guys have some still ability to short these things lower. And again, the Coinbase one, if that news is correct, I would freak out. I'd probably get some puts on Coinbase in a worst case. But again, try to buy high. I don't know the exact price, or try to short high. I don't know the exact price that it bounces. If it does today, we'll see. We will see. Yeah. Brandon says, rest in peace, traders. Who's still throwing money at Kathy Woods, by the way? I don't know. That was like two of her biggest positions. Not only that, but she did sell some Tesla and to buy some more fake companies, I guess. So Gabriel wants to look at SOYB. Yeah, for a day trade purpose, this thing is going to be light volume for me, so I'm not going to be able to trade this one as a day trade. I don't know what this company does either. This is definitely the first time I pulled it up. On a daily chart, and again, it gaps every single day, so the gap is going to mean a lot less in that situation. It's just very extreme light volume. I would say that we have to hold, like, this could be some kind of a retest. This looks like a little bit of a double top. This looks like the retest into it. My guess is this one does come lower. I don't have targets for it. First stop, I would say, is 2607 will be target number one. And then possibly even like 2380, somewhere in that zone could be a possibility as well. But it does look like this was a bearish engulfing candle. This was the retest into it. That broke. That was the retest into that. And we probably do head lower, I would assume. SMED. This is another one, low volume, also under $5. So for me personally, it's not tradable as a day trade. The overall trend is bearish for sure. You are consolidating a little bit. So if you have any type of hope, and again, I don't know what this company does specifically, you have a little bit of a hammer. If you want to play it, again, the trend is down. You're going complete counter trend if you're going bullish on this thing. But you have a little bit of consolidation. You have that little wick to kind of rely on. So my stop would be right under that if you must trade this thing. I'd still wait for a breakout for an entry, though. So I'd look for like a 446 entry with a 405 stop, something like that, to set it as a trade if you think that this is a spot to come back. The trend is definitely heavily weighted toward the bearish side, though. Go has a gap up. How's the volume on this one? I guess the volume's okay. We do have that earnings catalyst. It looks different than the market. That looks good. good volume that came in yesterday on the sell-off. It's bouncing off that 89, which I like. The only thing that I would say is right now we don't like we're into a little bit of resistance, but we might be trapping some bears. We have 2 days of bears being trapped, 2.5 days really of bears being trapped. If we open up here, just don't know exactly where this thing opens. So we could watch it. But it does look at least it looks different than the market. Opening play is an exhaustion setup. Not sure exactly what that means, Dave. Not 100%. I would probably be patient in every direction at open. I think everything looks a little bit more bearish than bullish. What did Amazon do? So Amazon looks like the rest of the market. So anytime I see this in a chart, where's my little pen thingy? Anytime I see this in a chart, especially when you had some bullishness coming into it, so you had some buying, and then realistically in one candle, if not two, every single one of those people are trapped. Anybody that did buy this, their sentiment, their thought process is, how do I just lose less money? Right? If they went to the bathroom at 8:30 Eastern, they came back and that was a very expensive bathroom break that they took. Right? So unless they had stops, they're right now in there just saying, if this thing bounces at all. So a lot of times once this happens, a big massive move, and again, I'm using Amazon right now, but it's the same for every stock or the market in general. A lot of times what we'll see, or what I think will happen, is we get some kind of maybe bounce. We'll see. This could also already be the bounce as well. So I'm not sure how far this bounce goes. And then you kind of roll. And I think that's how the general play, at least for the morning time, goes. Falco did say that Joe Biden is coming on to talk today. When I say coming on, specifically to this real life trading show, specifically nowhere else, it's exclusive. But you also will be streaming on other platforms as well, like major CNBC, probably whitehouse.gov, like all the major ones, they're going to carry it. But if you look what Joe Biden did to the market yesterday, let me pull up the 5-minute. And again, I'm not sure exactly what his topic was, so maybe that will change things a little bit. But Joe Biden was talking during this time frame down here, and it was just pure consolidation. This is actually when he got done talking, so he didn't really move the markets too much at all. Elon Musk actually was talking around this time, and again, I don't know if I could attribute the entire market bounce to Elon Musk. I don't think he really said anything too crazy, but that is just the timing worked out where that's where Elon was done, or at least worst case, that's where Joe Biden was done talking. So do we just do another one of those and chop around until he's done, and then we make our move one way or the other? That's very possible as well. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure what time he comes on. If somebody has the time frame, just throw it in one of the chats, either YouTube or the regular one. Jay says we need a Trump tweet. I don't know what we need. We need oxygen tanks is what we need. I think that's the only thing to get us through. Just a whole bunch of, they sent out all the, where's all the oxygen tanks from COVID? They got to be sitting around somewhere. I could be hooked up to one of those. I'll take that. Biden talks at 2:15 Eastern. Okay. All right. Somebody's asking about Airbnb. Again, right now, I'm not a buyer of pretty much anything. I do like Airbnb long-term, so I will say that. I do own some Airbnb. I'm waiting for the next level. I'm going to start buying. I will start buying some things soon with the full expectation that I'm not getting in at the best price. So if you like a company, yeah, by all means, I think once we do start reversing, we could see some kind of big move. I just don't think probably in the near term. I think we'll see some kind of bounces probably in the next couple of days or weeks or something like that. But I think those are going still to be sell the rip scenarios. I don't think this is the time to get in and you're expecting the best price. So if you're trying to build positions, which I love doing, find the companies you like. Airbnb, I do think will still be around in 10 years. And I do like Airbnb. So if you're interested in it, by all means. Otherwise, the chart looks exactly the same as the rest of the market for right now. But I mean, I don't think it's a horrible price. Their valuation, I will say, the valuation of Airbnb is extreme. If I could make a case for it, but it's still very high. I think this one does still come down much further. But buying things slowly, buying it in shares, like small amounts, not using margin, that's going to be your friend. And then we're just going to sit through a lot of it. And expect lots of pain, no matter what you're buying. Buy, hold, and pray. Isn't that a movie? If it's not, it should be. Bear gap and go below the, let's take a look at LUV. Was mentioned in the YouTube chat. Southwest. Yeah, you're probably talking about the daily, right? Yep. So the yellow line on my chart here is a 10 EMA. So the daily is set up for a 10 EMA for sure. It's a relatively nice one. So we had almost a break within 2 candles, broke down, had some extra buyers. That actually gapped down, pretty solid close, inside candle. Yeah, I agree. For on a daily basis for 10 EMA, that does look like a good breakdown. So anything below, I would have my entry maybe somewhere around 43.60. Stop. I mean, you could determine we want to stop depending on your comfortability level, but 46.90 would be the true stop. If that 10 EMA comes down a little bit further, or we're getting another inside day today, you could probably even go like 45.90, something like that for sure. Good find though. I like it. How much more is Airbnb going to grow? They're losing people left and right for not protecting property owners. So Brandon, not a fan. I will say, I personally know people that do make lots of money on Airbnb. Also, if you right now, owning properties is a defensive move against inflation. So right now, if you're like, where do I put my money? And you're trying to buy real estate as a defense against inflation, apparently it's very tough to live in 2 houses at once, and then therefore you might have to look for rent. The other thing is if prices of houses are still through the roof, and mortgage rates, I think, jumped about 20% in the last 2 months, something like that. If that's the case, then a lot of people that are trying to look for housing, it might just not be affordable, or they might almost have to be forced to rent somewhere. Right. So I still like them. But yeah, I fully aware some of the owners, there's the no protection. There is some protection, but it's still Airbnb. Technology company. Basically, it's a marketplace for real estate in a worst case. But we only have 19 seconds left. YouTube, I love you guys, but unfortunately, this is where we have to part ways until tomorrow morning. You could also hang out with Real Life Trading all day, every day with the All Access Pass. Just go to reallifetrading.com. You guys will be able to be in the rooms from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. at night. Man, that's a lot of work on us. I hope you guys come and join us. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for all the new content, features, latest videos, and we will catch all of you guys tomorrow. Take